Hello and welcome to the Rod Kirby Show. I'm your host, Rod Kirby, and today we have my best friend in the whole wide world. She can't say anything about it, Miss Paige Feldman. Hey, Paige, how you doing?
Hey Rod, doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. For those that are watching, Paige is an author as well as a filmmaker, and she's actually writing and directing her first or feature film debut. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, so glad to have you on the show today, Paige. Thank you so much for being here. And for everyone watching, thank you so much as well. I want you all to be sure to use your hashtags, share the show with your friends and family and coworkers, any screenwriters, any filmmakers, whoever's out there that needs to learn and about the craft of screenwriting and craft of filmmaking. And that's what the show is all about. It's about sharing and helping other people, reach those creative plateaus and those creative endeavors. So Paige, thank you so much again. I just want to jump right in and I just want to learn about you and where did you come from? How did you get here? You know,
Where did I come from?
where did you come from?
So I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. Grew up there, like in a suburb there.
Hmm.
And I have always been writing, telling stories, creating. And when I say always, I literally mean I have one of my first memories is I was 4 years old and I directed my cousins and
Wow.
my sister in a play that I was writing on the spot. Also, I starred in it at the
Oh,
time, but
nice.
that's not that's no more acting for me. Uh,
Wearing many hats.
yes. I even made the costumes for it. I don't think it made any sense, but
Hmm.
just telling stories is something that's always come naturally to me and something that I've loved and helps me make sense of the world. So I knew from a young age I wanted to tell stories,
Yeah.
and I went to USC undergrad for film,
Hmm.
had some terrible internships in
Oh,
LA, and made me rethink that dream. So I went to law school, as you
mm,
do when you're
right.
looking to
Of
find
course.
yourself. Yeah, the next right choice,
Yeah.
obviously. And while I was there, I would be I found myself outlining stories in the margins of my
Mm,
PowerPoint handouts
yeah.
and doodling in my books, and just not able to engage the way that my friends who were all on law review and in the top of the class they were so passionate. They would have a beer in their hand at a party and be debating case law.
Yeah.
And I would want to talk about the latest season of America's Next Top Model,
Right.
which is not necessarily
Yeah, it's not really
it
doesn't really fit, but
yeah. So went back to LA thanks to a really wonderful advisor at my law school who was called a happiness advisor, who
okay.
helped. He had basically had a terrible experience being a lawyer and decided he wanted to make sure law students were happy, because that's a
Mm,
thing that doesn't necessarily happen. So
right.
with his help, I was able to come out here. I'm in LA,
Okay.
write my thesis,
Hmm.
and on the Hollywood production code as a de facto bureaucracy. And
Nice.
that's my doctoral thesis.
And you're still
And
and you're a filmmaker now, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And then I started a career in development, but
Hmm.
my passion has always been storytelling.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, right before the pandemic, I lost a director of development job when funding
Mm.
for a company was pulled. The first look deal fell apart, and
Hmm.
it's probably one of the best things that's happened to me, because I got a full-time work from home job doing something completely unrelated and have so much more creative energy
Yeah.
to push forward into my writing and directing and all of that creative work.
Wow. Isn't it funny how that happens when you think you're losing, something that you need, like a job,
Mhm.
but another door opens for you,
Yeah.
and it becomes the main one that you're supposed to walk in the whole time.
Yes, it's opportunity doesn't necessarily look like opportunity all the time, but
Right. That's
um,
true.
yeah.
Well, you've as an author, you've published a lot of young adult novels and a lot of
I haven't
books.
published any of
Oh, you
them.
haven't published any?
No, so my website is currently my personal website,
Hmm.
paigefeldman.com, if you want to look at it, is set up because I have sort of a duality in my work. So I
Mm.
started out going, well, not started out, but when I initially thought I'm going to just dive full force into my writing,
Right.
I started with novels. My mom
Okay.
is a published author of middle grade work, and she has her young adult debut is coming out this summer, which is
Oh,
really
wow.
exciting.
Okay.
But so through her, I knew a lot about how that industry worked, and
Mhm.
it's a lot more transparent. And I wouldn't say publishing is easier
Yeah.
for people who don't really have connections, but it's easier to get some traction because so many of the agents are open to queries that
Yeah.
are unsolicited, which
That's
is
true.
not the case in film. And
Right.
so I thought, well, I get, and everyone's so into IP, I create my own IP. So I wrote a bunch of young adult novels, which are about young women in various situations, finding their power. And it's a lot of thrillers.
Yeah.
And the Tonight I'll Be Ruthless is my Cinderella retelling, which I'm obsessed with. That's actually the thing that I was outlining in the margins of those PowerPoints in law school.
Wow.
But then writing films is something that I've always, really like since I was 8 years old. That's really what I wanted to focus. And so I started doing that. And I really found my voice in my my film and my series work. I was started off in a lot of horror, but then I wrote a romantic comedy scene just for fun one day. And it was the thing my writing group looked at and said, "Oh my God, this is the first thing you've written that sounds like you and not like who you wanted to try to be."
Right.
And that little scene turned into Interrobang, which is my short form comedy anthology. And my film work is, in contrast to young adult thrillers, is romantic. I say I'm reinventing the romantic comedy for the 21st century. It's
Love that.
sex positive, feminist, diverse,
Yeah.
and romantic comedies that feature a lot of kissing, because I love a good kissing scene.
Right.
So it was always my favorite part of everything, was that romance, the people finding each other and looking at it as, instead of being about oh look, they found love and that's the end.
Yeah.
The love is the thing that helps them grow as people and achieve
Right.
their dreams and become the people that they want to be, because other people make you other people inspire change in you, whether or not it's a romantic relationship. I just really like kissing scenes, so that's where I'm going.
So that's really what we want to accomplish here, is more kissing
Yes,
scenes.
yeah, kissing and personal growth. That's the goal.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer that you have, the teaser trailer that you have for Interrobang, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So this is this is a short series, right?
Yeah, it's a short form anthology. Each episode's between 7 and 1, I think, is 12 minutes long, but they're mostly around 8.
Okay, well, let's take a look at that, and we'll be right back. This is Interrobang.
Yes.
You're so beautiful. You're not some go all night 23-year-old stud.
Gross. 23 is a baby. And you know I love all this sex with you.
Can you turn that thing off? I didn't want to scare you off before you got a chance to know me and know me.
I rip my heart out and smear my blood.
What is it with all the
my
blood?
on canvas?
Being with you is the best, and always. Should we get the spring rolls too?
Alright, are we still on for Friday?
Oh wow, that's awesome!
Thanks.
Love that. Interrobang. What does that mean? And why did you come up? How did you come up with that title?
So Interrobang, if you saw the title font, there was a little question mark with the exclamation mark inside.
Right.
That's an Interrobang. It's my favorite punctuation mark, which is a super nerdy thing to
Ah.
say. And I came up with the title because I was cooking one night
Mhm.
and I was, just thinking about how an Interrobang is my favorite punctuation mark because that's what the cool kids do.
Right.
And I thought, oh, Intero, like question and
Mhm.
bang. Like I know that's what they call
Ah.
the exclamation mark in England, but like sex. And I thought
Yeah.
questions after sex. That's an interesting concept, and that led to this idea that it's each episode is about a couple or a throuple in one
Mhm.
case in the moments after sex when being emotionally naked is more terrifying than being physically naked.
Mm.
And the central question in each episode is, am I lovable even if the X is true?
Right.
And it's not just about sexual things. There's one where it's all about a vibrator, but there's another where it's, am I still lovable even if my partner doesn't understand my art?
Mhm.
So it's those emotional questions that just you happen to be in a very vulnerable place, and that's the show.
Love that. And you did that in, was it 2020 or 2019?
So it's always a long process with all of these. So I first came up with the idea in 2017.
Okay.
I wrote I wrote it, shopped it around a little bit,
Mhm.
and everyone said, "Oh, this is interesting. I might be, make one,
Right.
maybe." But I'm poor, but that's also why I devised it as an anthology, so I
Yeah.
could, save up money.
Mhm.
It's 2 actors in 1 room. That's
Hmm.
something that I can do.
Right.
And so at the end of 2018, I made an episode as a proof of concept, and then I did a crowdfunding campaign beginning of 2019, shot the episodes summer 2019, and
Mhm.
they were in post for about a year, and
Okay.
so finished in July 2020, and we had our festival premiere last April at the Seattle International Film Festival, which was like a dream
Wow.
come true.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How'd it go at the film festival?
It was great to be featured there. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I didn't get to actually go,
Oh, yeah.
which it's Seattle is just such a great festival.
Yeah.
I did eventually get to have a full-on in-person premiere at Dances with Films
That's cool.
this past summer,
Mhm.
which was at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, which was
Oh, nice.
amazing. And
Yeah.
the section it was an short episodic section, so there were I
Mhm.
think 7 people in our showing in total, and we sold out the theater,
Wow.
which, if
Yeah,
you know anything about film
awesome.
festivals, is unheard for a short program. So
Yeah,
I got to,
that's great.
yeah. So that was like bucket list check. Chinese theater check. Sold out screening check.
Are there any plans to I don't know, maybe kind of take them to a different direction, different mediums, maybe do a film based around it, or what?
So there's some. I have a distribution deal in the works for that. Hopefully, we will release later this year, which
Okay,
is
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah.
And I will be screaming about that when that finalizes.
Yeah.
And then if there is interest, I have a season 2 outlined, and but I think I don't think any of these vignettes.
Mhm.
No, I don't want to call them vignettes. They're films. Any of these episodes,
Yeah.
they're meant to be completed thoughts, I
Right.
guess. And so, but if someone's listening and is like, "Hey, I want to expand this one into a feature," yes.
Oh, okay. There you go, world. You got an invitation right
Yeah.
from Paige. I'm gonna take a sip of my water as well.
Yeah.
In my fancy mug,
Ooh.
it says write, shoot, edit, and repeat on there.
Oh, I love that.
Well, thank you very much. And for anyone else that loves it as well, I want you all to head over to rodkirby.com and hit the shop button, or you can go to www.rodkirby.shop for all of my merch. I've got different shirts and hoodies and sweaters and pillows and mugs and all sorts of cool junk you can buy from me. And everything that you buy goes straight into my pocket because I'm a filmmaker. I need the money, okay? Now, Miss Paige, now you have the wait. Well, let me tell a very quick story for everyone that's watching. I found you on YouTube, and I was scrolling by, and I saw this video, and it was this young lady, and it was you, and you were looking directly in the camera, and you were talking about screenwriting. You were talking about a new project that you're working on, that you wanted people to follow you on the journey from idea to completion. That project is called Kaleidoscope.
Yes.
How and why did you decide to share that journey live on YouTube? And I mean, you've got different episodes. You're posting like every week.
Mhm.
Different parts of the writing process as you go through the screenplay, and you complete the screenplay. It's a monster of a screenplay right now.
It's not a complete. I wrote a draft.
You got a draft done,
which is the size of 2 screenplays.
Right. So I mean, it's the draft is done, and now you're
Yeah.
kind of trimming down the fat and kind of going through
Yeah.
the characters and the emotions and plot points and all that stuff. Why did you decide to open up your process like that? And how's it been going? What's been the feedback from the community?
So I decided to open up my process because, as independent filmmakers, as Rod, I'm sure you know, it's
Mhm.
really difficult to cut through the noise if you don't have a name or a
Right.
team behind you,
Yeah.
or have been hired on something big. And
Right.
I love the democratization of distribution that YouTube has.
Mhm.
You want to put something up, you'll put it up, you put it up,
Right.
and not only that, you figure out their SEO,
Mm-hmm.
and they will share it to people.
Yeah.
And that is eyeballs and popularity, and people like that's. I don't know why I just made a bunch of sentence fragments. Let me start over. So like I was saying earlier, IP is a really important thing in the industry.
Yeah.
And it's not just IP of ideas. It can be, people are branding themselves,
Mhm.
and you want to have so many. I'll stop being diplomatic. There's a lot of people in Hollywood who are afraid of making the wrong decision and afraid
Yeah.
of taking ownership of a difficult decision or of a
Right.
risky decision. And I want to get money to make my film.
Right.
I don't have $100,000 sitting in the bank. I don't
Mhm.
have $50,000 sitting in the bank. It was a struggle to get the $8,000 for Interrobang,
Mhm.
which I am so grateful to everyone who was part of that process and who contributed to the crowdfunding campaign. But I need 10 times that amount to make a feature. And
Right.
I need people with a lot of money, and people with a lot of money and people who are decision makers want to feel some sort of assurance about their
Mhm.
decision. And having an audience is a way to get that assurance. That's why you
Right.
see people saying, "Oh, look how many Instagram followers they have."
Yeah.
Because there's people who care about that person, and they can take that. If it doesn't work, they have that number to back them. And so I wanted to get a number to back me, and I
Yeah.
wanted to also show that I'm competent and know what I'm doing, because I am a first-time feature director.
Mhm.
And despite my festival accolades, I mean, it means a lot they mean a lot to me personally.
Right.
But from my time as a development executive, I know that having a short premiere at a film festival, unless you are premiering at Sundance,
Right.
and somebody decides that idea is good enough to get you to warrant maybe making a feature from the short,
Mhm.
it's not enough.
Right.
And so I wanted to use the resources that I had, the meager resources I had, to try to become a brand.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
it
you got to
feels
do.
gross to say it, but
No, it's not gross. That's exactly what you have to do. Not, I don't think a lot of filmmakers understand, especially independent filmmakers. They don't understand that if you're not going the studio route, if you're not trying to get a job working as a director or DP or first AD or whatever, next best thing you have to do is push yourself up to the top of all that noise. There's so much competition out there. There's a lot of money out there too, but you're not the only one that needs it. You're not the only one that wants it. So how are you going to stand out in the crowd? And what you're doing with YouTube and with your website, and I want everyone to go to your website. You've got two that I know of, PaigeFeldman.com.
I have two. Those are the two.
But you also have KateFightFilms.com as well.
Yeah.
And I want people to see what you're doing, because you have your projects laid out. Even if they're not produced projects, you have a space for them to kind of show off what you're working on. And that's what you got to do. You have to build your personal brand in order to cut through the noise of the world, because there's a lot of competition out here, not just people, but things, cell phones, different movies, different TV shows, Netflix. It's all, you're in competition with everything. So you have to stand out. So I applaud you for taking a chance and taking a risk yourself and showing the process on YouTube. That's great.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
And Kimberly said the struggle is real. Yes, it is.
Yes.
The struggle is definitely real.
Yeah. And it's really wonderful, Rod, what you're doing here, just highlighting independent artists like myself and your other guests, because what we were talking about before the show started is that it often feels like you're just screaming into the void when you're doing these videos and when you're tweeting or whatever type of self-promotion you're doing. And so feels good to be able to, if not talk to like faceless masses, to just talk to one person and know, like, all right, someone else is there. They get it. They're like, they see me. It's like, it's a really good boost, and it also helps create community. So
absolutely. And that's what you need. Nowadays is you need to, it's kind of a 1-2 punch of personal branding and then community, and if you can combine those, man, you will have a sustainable career in filmmaking. You will have a group of people that champion your projects and not just give you money, but they'll share your stuff. They'll push it to other people, that can get you into different doors and help you get doors open. So, community and personal branding. It's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for the soul. Okay.
I'm hungry.
And this fat boy loves peanut butter and jelly. Okay. Can you share any tips or advice for other screenwriters that are watching, from the perspective of being a former development exec? What are people looking for when you get screenplays in and you're looking through a screenplay? What types of things are you looking for, and how can people get better at presenting themselves and presenting their work to other people to get them on board for a project?
Cool. Okay. So it's a tough question. I think the most universal advice I'll try with the most universal advice I can give is if you're submitting to a place that has like an open query policy, which is a place where I worked, and I would go through that query inbox as an exec. We had a specific mandate that we were looking to fill, a specific list of projects and types of projects that we were looking for. The biggest thing that we are looking for is a log line that matches an idea of the thing that we wanted to make. Right. It does, like, so much of it, you could be a great writer, you could be a terrible writer. If your project happens to fall onto an exec's desk on the day that someone says, hey, we're looking for a heist movie that's also a horror movie, right, and that's what you wrote, you're going to get read. Yeah. And just not necessarily going to move forward if you're terrible, but the exec, like I was saying, like, executives are looking out for their own interests. They want to keep their jobs. They want to make good decisions. And if their boss says, I really want the next Fast and the Furious, then they're going to be interested in only car chase movies until they find one. Yep. And if you don't write car chase movies, then you're out of luck, even if you have an Oscar-winning screenplay in your inbox. And I have passed on Oscar-winning screenplays because that's not what, they hadn't won an Oscar yet, obviously, but that's what we weren't looking for, that biopic. We weren't looking for, we didn't quite understand how to produce this like dramatic thriller that was kind of a horror film, but not really. Like there's, and I'm not talking about Get Out, by the way. So like I would have jumped on Get Out, believe me. Right. But there are so many things that are out of your control that it's so difficult. I know from being on the other, like sending queries to think, oh my God, they must think I'm terrible at writing. No, like they're everyone's looking for something. And if you don't have that thing, then you're not going to necessarily get a response.
Right.
The other thing I'll say is please be kind and remember there is an actual human being reading your email, especially if you get a rejection. I stopped sending rejections.
Yeah.
A couple of years in because most people would say nothing or would say, but where should I send it to? And the answer is I can't recommend anything because then you get in trouble for recommending some like you should like I haven't read you. I don't know where should I recommend you. But there were some people who would like say things that I'm not going to repeat and say that I got off on gatekeeping.
Oh, wow.
I would regret it. And you know what? I hope I regretted it. I regretted it a few times. Not the people that were terrible to me. None of those got forward. But it sucks to be on the end of a really angry email. Everybody wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
That's like you just got to remember that sometimes your thing is not the thing for that person.
That's right. And I want everyone that's watching to understand, what Paige is talking about is really going the traditional, studio route or, going to a production company and pitching them ideas, pitching them scripts that you've already written. If that's your calling in life, that's the direction you want to go in with your career as a screenwriter or a filmmaker. You've got to come correct. You have to have that brand together. You need to look the part. You need to be respectful in your email and a query. And Paige, can you just break down just in general what a query is, just in case anyone's watching that doesn't understand what a query letter is? Can you just break down the simple pieces of it?
A query letter is the email nowadays. The email you send. I say nowadays like it was like something else different back in my day.
Right.
Query letter is an email that you send to a production company, management company, to say, "Hi, this is me. I wrote this. Do you want to read it?"
Right.
And
it usually has a log line in there just so people know what it is.
Yeah.
But what you don't do is you don't just email a full script because nobody's going to read your script. What they want is to understand that they have tons of scripts in front of them already. Okay, so no one's going to read your script. Send in a query letter, just short email, very brief. You don't want a long. You don't have to share your life story. I wrote this. I've been writing this screenplay for 5 years. I finally finished it, and here's my backstory. It's where I went to college. Nobody cares about all that. It's boom.
Honestly, if you've been writing the script for 5 years, do not say that.
Right.
Because what I hear is, so it's going to take you 5 more years to go through development with this.
Yep. That's it. That is totally it. Yeah. So, with that, so that career path, it does exist. It's still working today. Query letters work. But if you're not going that route, then you're going to go the independent route, and you can do something like Paige is doing. You can share your process. You can open up yourself to the world to see your work in progress, which gets you more eyeballs, possibly even open more doors. Paige, anything else that you've witnessed or you've gotten comments on with your screenplay thus far?
I haven't let anybody actually see most of the screenplay because my draft was 268 pages or 63 pages. Sorry. I write long. I know I write long. I've written a 210 page first draft before. This isn't anything new. I wouldn't recommend it. Despite outlining, this is what I do. And the funny thing is when I've been hired to write things, I'm able to turn in like a 97 page draft. No problem.
Of course,
it's my own idea. No, it's everything.
Right.
I think like if you're considering doing this and the only thing holding you back is you're afraid someone's going to steal your idea, don't be.
Right.
No, like number one, someone's probably going to steal your idea. That's fine. They're not going to be able to execute it in the same way that you execute it.
That's true.
And if they can, then your idea and the way that you're executing it isn't specific enough to you.
Wow.
So yeah.
That hurts my feelings right there, but it's so true. It's so true, though. I mean, if I get like someone said to me, "Hey, I have a screenplay idea, and I really want to share it, or I really want to get somebody to read it for me and give me some feedback, but man, I just don't want to. I don't want to put it out there. I'm scared that it's going to get leaked and all this stuff. It's like, dude, first of all, copyright your stuff once it's done. Copyright your stuff. The least you can do is a WGA West registration. That's the very least thing you can do. But you have to get eyes on it. You have to share it from within yourself and share it to other people. Get it out of your mind, get it out of your head, and give it to other people so that they can give you actual realistic feedback and not just pat you on the back or tell you it's awesome, it's amazing, and it's the next Schindler's List, but to give you really good feedback and tell you that, hey, this is great, but these characters need work, or this dialogue needs work, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, Paige, absolutely right. Can't be afraid to share your stuff, share your work. That's why I recommend writers groups. A lot.
Yes.
I have one that I go to. It's I live in the Mississippi area, but I'm on the border of Tennessee, and so we have a group called Write Club Memphis that we meet. Now we're meeting virtually, and it's a great group of people. Get honest feedback. Everyone actually wants to see you succeed. No one's in competition with you. So it's great. So that's one thing I recommend is a writers group. And if you're not into writers groups, then share your stuff on YouTube like Paige is doing.
I have 2 writers groups.
Snap.
Yeah. I can't do it without a writers group. And if I didn't have a writers group, I would be finding people to beta read through Twitter, probably, maybe through Reddit.
Right.
The screenwriting subreddit is surprisingly a chill corner of Reddit. It's not as much of a fire as most of the places. I know 2 of the mods. They're good people. They want to keep everything nice and clean and professional. And so, and I actually found one of my writing groups on Reddit and the other one on Twitter. So social media is not necessarily a terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean it's a tool, and as a writer, you have to use every tool that's available to you, to get that draft done. So yeah, absolutely. Twitter, and get on Twitter, get on Facebook groups has a lot of different writing groups as well.
Yes.
Paige, now that you have the draft done, I know you're going through it, you're sifting through it and working out all the details. Once you have it finalized, how many drafts do you think you might go through?
That's a great question. I don't know. For me, every script is different. Every time I start a new script, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. And then that falls apart. The only things that are really a constant is that I outline a lot more now. I try to fix story problems as much as possible within the outline. And when I say story problems, I mean things like, okay, so what does this character want, and what is their need, and what's driving them? I try to have that done within the outline so that once I go to draft, I'm not all of a sudden in the middle realizing, oh no, this person has nothing that they actually need driving them forward. This is going to be a page 1 rewrite. Because even my 263 page script, it's not going to be a page 1 rewrite. It's going to be more of slash. It's going to be a cutting it in half and finding the real essence. So my usual number of drafts is around 7 to 10, I would say. That just tends to be my sweet spot. Once I'm in the middle of cutting, or the beginning of cutting this first draft. And so once I finish this first cut, I'll have a better idea, but I'll say between 7 and 10 drafts probably. Wow. And then it'll become, and if I have a producing, depending on how I'm getting it financed, if there's a producing partner that comes on and they want to do a round of notes, I'm totally open to that, because filmmaking is a collaborative process. And even if I'm going to be the only producer on it until I have an on-set producer, I'm got to make sure that the DP knows what I want, got to make sure that the actors understand where the characters are coming from. And so I might even end up doing a character pass after I cast it. And there's a chemistry read and realize, oh, this kind of line works really well when these 2 are together, and I don't have enough of that. So I'm going to switch all that out. So it all just kind of depends. I'm flying by the seat of my pants in a way.
Someone wise once said that writing is rewriting, so it's a never ending process. My last short film, I was making changes, on set, and even even in the filmmaking process, I mean, you really kind of write 3 times. You write the actual script, then you write during production, quote unquote, write during production. You might change some scenes around. You might think about a different angle or maybe even different dialogue to go into different scenes. And then you write in the edit, when you actually get into the edit. So writing is just a part of the filmmaking process from start to finish. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So I don't, that's cool. 7 to 10 drafts is cool. And that's probably on par with most feature length scripts. So yeah, good stuff. Well, Miss Paige, look, before we kind of get out of here, I want to kind of test your knowledge, if I may. You're a writer, you're a screenwriter, you're former executive development exec and all that good stuff. So I want to test your writing knowledge, if I may. So
yes, please.
What I want to do is play Mad Libs.
All right.
So nothing serious. No, we're going to play a quick game of Mad Libs, and hopefully everyone watching, it's super easy. You basically just fill in the blank on different parts of a story that's pre-written, and then you read it out loud and see what you got. So
all right,
let's go over to our game board over here. Let's see what we got here. There we go. So we have there's a Mad Lib, and I'll give you one little hint. It's based on, since you write a lot about comedies and romantic comedies and all that good stuff. It's based on one of the best romantic comedy TV shows of all time.
Okay.
So we'll leave that right there. But anyone that's watching, feel free to join in and offer an assistance. But ultimately, Paige, the decision and the answer is going to be up to you. Okay.
All right.
All right. So give me a name, please.
Let's go, Michelle.
Michelle. I hope I can spell that. There we go.
The nice thing about names is as long as you can pronounce it, it's good.
And an event could be anything that you want.
Let's go the sinking of the Titanic.
Sinking of the Titanic. All right. And a noun, please.
Lava lamp.
A lava lamp. Okay. I used to have one of those.
I'm just gonna go completely bonkers as possible.
That sounds good. Another name, please.
Corey.
Corey. Corey. I think that's how you spell that. Yeah.
That is one way to spell Corey. Yeah.
Something taboo, like pig's feet on crackers. I don't know. Whatever you want.
Okay. I mean, that would be taboo for me. I'm Jewish. Let's go with a sex swing.
Ooh, a sex swing. Okay.
I feel like I'm creating this very strange 70s romper room here. The lava lamp.
Got the lava lamp. Got some guy named Corey, Michelle. Titanic's going on. Okay, you mean
there's 3 names in a row. Okay.
Yes, 3 names in a row.
Why can't I think of names? Lars.
Oh my God, Lars. Okay. I'm gonna put down Mac G. That sounds like a good gangster name.
That's a good name. Oh, I like the initial there. Gotta get Angela.
Angela.
That's a name.
Okay. Now, you need a verb, please.
Swims.
Swims. Okay.
I'm trying to make
swims. Let's get a place.
Romper room. I already said it.
Romper room. Okay. And something wacky.
One of those Cat in the Hat hats.
Cat in the Hat.
Those like towel striped stovepipe hats.
One more name. We're almost done.
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. Virginia. A place in your house.
The attic.
Okay. Attic. Say the attic. There we go. And last is a noun. Person, place, or thing.
A painting.
a painting. Okay, this is absolutely bonkers. So we have Michelle, we got a sinking of the Titanic, we got lava lamp, Corey, sex swing, Lars, Mac G, Angela, swims, romper room, cat in the hat hats, Virginia, the attic, and a painting. Are you ready for your Mad Lib?
I don't know if I am, but let's do it.
Drum roll, please. Brrr, boom. Here we go. Allow me to read this for you. So Chandler and Michelle attend a sinking of the Titanic thrown by one of the other actors on Days of Our Lives. He happens to be moving out, so he offers to let Joey have his lava lamp. Having never lived alone, Joey decides to take him up on it, which disheartens Corey. Phoebe and Rachel decide to get sex swing. The decision is complicated by the fact that Lars doesn't like Mac G, and Phoebe doesn't like Angela. Ross, oh, that's period. Ross, Monica, and Richard swims to romper room. Everyone is buzzing with rumors of Richard's young new girlfriend, also known as his cat in the hat hats, in the city. Virginia hides in the attic. Her parents come into the bathroom and fool around. Later, Monica reveals her relationship with a painting to her parents. There you go.
And you know the funny thing is that I know Friends so well that I can fill all of these blanks in with the correct words.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a talent or something to just hide.
It's something. I'll tell you that.
That is something, yes.
Oh wow! Well, thank you so much for playing, and thank you so much for stopping by the Rod Kirby Show, Miss Paige. Really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight.
Yes, thank you. This has been so much fun, and I kind of want to go find that Mad Lib site and do some more.
You know what? I got one more if you want to play one more.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Kimberly. So can you what? So can you what, Kim? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, she loves Friends. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of her favorite shows.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this out of here. You get that one out, and I'm going to add this other one. Screen. There we go. This one. Boom. Okay, can you see that?
I
can't see
cannot.
it. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Now I can.
Okay. All right, give me a name, please.
Tanner.
You say Canner or Tanner?
Tanner.
Tanner. Whenever I say Tanner, I feel very country when I say Tanner. All right. Give me an adjective.
Blue.
Blue. All right. Noun, please.
Book.
A book. Okay.
I feel like I'm looking around this room right now. Like, what do I see?
City and state.
Let's go Augusta, Maine.
Jesus. Okay. Augusta. How do you crap?
It's like August with an A on the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all see, I'm a writer too, but sometimes I don't write. Augusta,
listen,
Maine.
You're a writer. You're not a speller.
Thank you. Somebody understands me. A kind of business. Anything you want.
Oh, let's go a patisserie.
A what?
Bakery.
Oh.
like I'm just thinking very specifically of croissants right now.
Oh wow. Okay, how do you spell that? Chris.
Oh, just bakery is good.
Bakery.
Like I said, I'm hungry. I need to go.
It's the fanciest baker place. Okay. Another noun, please.
Cards. Or card, I guess, because it's not a plural noun.
Okay, card. A store. Any kind of store that you like.
Target.
Target?
For sure.
I love Target. We call
They'll fit in because they have everything.
And we call it Target down here. So.
Oh yeah.
I
say patisserie, you say Target. We're both bougie.
Bougie. Okay.
Quilt.
A quilt. Okay. An adjective, please.
Small.
Small. Family member. And not your like actual family member, just
just like
the title.
A relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
Step grandma.
Oh, okay. Step. Well, that's an interesting family.
Yeah. I mean, grandma died, grandpa got remarried.
Yeah. We are writing an interesting story here.
Yes.
An adjective, please.
Cool.
Cool. Would that be like cool whip? Do you say whip with the W
with
is
the-
silent?
The W is not no, the H is silent.
Right. Okay. I was thinking Family Guy. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well,
Continuing.
in Family Guy, the H is everywhere.
Cool. Another noun, please.
Cream.
Cream.
We're talking about Cool Whip. I mean,
Okay. A name.
Lauren.
Lauren. Okay. Very safe name there.
I for some reason I can think of everything but names.
An adjective.
Orange.
Orange. Okay. Another name and then a noun.
Rhonda.
Jeez. Okay. Rhonda.
What about Rhonda?
I don't know. It
Rhonda?
it came out of nowhere. It's Rhonda. Very hard. Rhonda.
Beach Boys song. Ball.
Ball.
Did I already use ball?
Nope. Ball
Okay,
is
cool.
good.
All right.
Okay, so we've got Tanner, Blue, Book, Augusta, Maine. Can I say it as Augusta, Maine? That's
You
how we say
can.
it down here in the South. Baker, Card, Target, Quilt, Small, Step Grandma, Cool, Cream, Lauren, Orange, Rhonda, and Ball. All right. I'm scared. Okay. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, Tanner is a blue book. Okay. Yeah. Tanner is a blue book in her mid-30s, living in Augusta, Maine. After her baker failed, she lost her card and all of her savings, and now works in a Target selling quilt rings. Wow. Although her small step-grandma encourages her to return home, Annie rents a bedroom from Cool Cream, Lauren, and his lazy, overweight sister, Byron. She has a sexual, no strings attached relationship with the orange, Rhonda, but hopes for something more. Only her friendship with Ball keeps her sane. Can you name that movie? It's a movie. It's one of the greatest female-led comedies of the 20th century.
I don't even understand this Mad Lib. It's Bridesmaids though.
It is Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It is Bridesmaids. I love that movie.
And
Yeah.
actually the fact that I chose the right business. Incidentally.
You did. Because she was a baker. Annie was a baker. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the name is Annie is I forgot what the adjective was, but it was a something baker in her mid-30s. Forgot what it was, but yeah, living somewhere. And after her bakery or something like that failed,
Yeah.
then she lost her money, I think, and all her savings or something like that. Now works in I forgot what she was working at. She was selling something. But yeah, it's Bridesmaids.
All right.
Kimberly Kirby got it. Good job, Kimberly. That's the wifey
Excellent.
right there.
All right.
Tell you what, I'll reward you later. Wink. And a hint.
And that's my cue.
And on that note, thank you so much for playing Mad Libs with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, Miss Paige. Really appreciate you. I want everyone to go and visit both of her websites. We have paigefeldman.com to see her projects, and then we also have Cake Fight Films. That's the name of her production company, cakefightfilms.com, for more of her projects, and follow her on YouTube as well to watch her develop the screenplay Kaleidoscope, which is looking really, really awesome. It's really cool to see your process and see how open you are and how collaborative you are with other people too. That's awesome. And you can also follow me, Rod Kirby, at rodkirby.com. Visit my website, and don't forget to visit the shop. It's www.rodkirby.shop. So easy. Got some cool stuff in there, and we'll be adding more stuff on a regular basis. So check that out. But yeah, that is pretty much our show. Oh, wait a minute. Kimberly said that she worked in a jewelry store. Yes, she did. Bridesmaids. That's right. Thank you. I knew something. Appreciate you. See, you're going to get that reward later, young lady. Okay. Anyway, we're being nasty. So sorry about that. Thank you, Paige, again. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Allow me to bring up some exit music. Let's see. What do you like, Paige? You like rock? Do you like hip hop? Do you like dance? What do you like?
I was a real like punk snob when I was when I was in college. Let's go with the rock.
Let's go with the rock. There we go.
Yeah. All right.
I can get you with that. It's not bad.
Okay.
But thank you so much for watching the Rod Kirby Show. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you later.